Okay, welcome back. It's April 22nd. We're going to hop over here and look at the S&P 500. So let's review the morning part of the session. So this morning, a couple of things. We said coming into the open, we actually were here on the pre-market video as this was dropping, which I said there wasn't a whole lot of uh, there wasn't a whole lot in this area that would keep this from coming down into this 51 and then even 49 right here. So we said bigger picture, we could see down a bit lower. We said 40 quarter, and we outlined some things that were down there a bit. But we said to start off with, if they could take out the 67 area, then we could see a bit higher. We obviously have the KP up here at 72 3/4. So what happened? We got this initial push down. It hit 51 to the tick, came back up. They probed through here real quick, and then came a tick short of this KP. So this is 49 quarter. The KP's at 49. They came a tick short of that. Came back up, came back. They held here. And then what happened? This CP basically held as support. On the way back up here, we said in MAP that if they broke out above 63.50, that if they could get back up above this KP, they would go back to 67 or to 76. But even this morning, if you go back and you watch the video from this morning, I'm pretty sure I said I've remained skeptical of this move up this entire time. Okay, so definitely been skeptical about what was what was coming with that. So furthermore, we have, let's see, so then we had test here at 63.50 to the tick, and then pulled back down to here, and then did break out, and then came back and held the CP, and then eventually, finally, so this first test 66.75. So if you got long here, there was about 6 points up to there. Came back, you could have bought this again. Definitely not my favorite trade. Got up to 68.75, but that was really enough. This is a little bit better. I still don't. I mean, after did all this trading here, I still don't love this area, but would have liked to see this come down and maybe test down here. So anyway, at some point, I'm still thinking, okay, they're coming back down to test this, maybe even coming back to test this, and we still said that 40 quarter was still not out of the question. So then what happened? Well, if you read what the talking heads on TV say, or if you read on any of the chat rooms on the internet of traders, they will tell you that Biden was mulling over this idea of capital gains tax increase, and that's what caused the market to drop. But if you watched the pre-market video, we talked all about that, not the capital gains. Don't really care about any of that. We talked about what the scenario was here. So what happens? We came 4 ticks short of the KP and ripped in 5 minutes. Came all the way from 72 down to, let's just call it 71 to 51 in 5 minutes. So 20-point drop right here. And then next candle came all the way down here. There's 40 quarter. I don't know if you can see that, but that's literally to the tick. So there's 40 quarter, and then it bounced and closed 11 points higher than the low right there. So even if you traded this long, there was still 11 points right there. Okay, next move, and by the way, this is, I know that doesn't look like a really pretty resell or something, but it came back up here. Why not sell these KPs right here? Yes, it could come up into here, but why not sell these? When it's melting down like this, why not sell the KPs right here? So what did we say for lower? There were a few things. We said if they took out 38, they initially probed 30 to 35.50, and then had some pretty decent bouncing back up into here. This is a much better looking bounce where it comes up and it's the opposite color candle that comes up into here and tests. So at this point, remember in the morning we said at least back to 22, And then we had a bit lower as well. We had the CP at 18 down here, and then I had 1750. And what we can see here was that we put in so there's the CP, a bit of a reaction off the CP, and then we probe down here to 15 quarter, and that was the low of the day right there. So there's the low, and then where did they bounce back to? Well, let's go take a look. So bouncing back here, and oh, by the way, notice where this reaction was from. That's 2150. We talked about 22 this morning. We talked about 22. Before the open, we talked about 22. Once they put in the low, they came back. They basically held 22 within 2 ticks. And these things tend to change over time. It was actually 2175 at this point, so the low was 2150, so it was 1 tick off. You can call it 22, whatever you want to call it. So there you have that. And then into the close here. So this bounce back did not quite get back to this KP. And then we had this little probe up here through the CP, just 7 ticks or something. And then just kind of consolidated here into the close, and then that's where we currently are. So that is, as far as I can tell, is about as mapped out as you can get it. To the tick right there, within a tick right there, came a little bit short right there, melts down. Here's a buy opportunity. Here's a sell opportunity. Here's a sell opportunity. I actually bought down here at 38. I ended up taking that one off at break even. I didn't like how it came a bit lower, and I also needed to leave. But there's that trade right there. If you liked 38, there's a resell right here, 51. It probed to 52 quarters, so 5 ticks of risk on a trade like that for a target down here at 22. So you got a 5 ticks of risk and a 30-point target, and that's all mapped out ahead of time. Okay. And then a buy opportunity. Yes, when the market's really ripping like this, we have the CP. It's probably going to go through it just a little bit. So this is not really a problem. This is by no means broken. It probed it. Big money stepped in, bought it up there off of the CP, which we gave you last night, by the way, if you were paying attention to that. And for sure you had it before the open. So there you have it. So I'm not going to talk a lot about what's going to happen here in the Globex. We'll have to wait and see what that's going to bring, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But of course, we'll be back doing the pre-market video, and I will see you in the morning. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so you get notified when we're doing these, and we'll see you in the morning.